Hello, it's Ukulele Says. Welcome to another video. This is Stop by Erasure, a song I had never heard of until the strummers introduced it to me, and it has become such an earworm, such a favourite amongst both Rainbow Ukes and the Southside Strummers, and it's one that I think you could easily get off the book with a little bit of practice. How are we going to do that? Let's jump in and get started and we'll find out. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a little like, leave us a comment, tell me what you like about the video. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you'll get updated each week whenever I release a new video. And if you really like my stuff, check out me on social media, Facebook, Instagram. You can check out my website. And you can even subscribe on BuyMeCoffee, become a member and get all of the lesson materials and resources that go along with each of the lessons too. For this song we are only going to need 4 chords. We are going to need an A major. We are going to need a D major. We're going to need an E7. And we're going to need a G. So our verse starts after we've actually said the word stop. So the song starts like this. 1, 2, 3, and then there's a pause of 4, and then we start strumming the verse. So it's 1, 2, 3, and we'll be together again. So that's what we do at the beginning. You do a 1, 2, 3, 4, strum, 2, 3, 4, and then we go into the verse. During the verse of the song, if we have a little look at the chord progression, you'll maybe recognise that it looks very similar to a 12-bar blues pattern. In fact, it almost is like a 12-bar blues in the key of A major. However, what is different here is the fact that we don't resolve back to A for the last 2 bars. Instead, we keep the momentum going, building the tension with that D chord. It keeps going, it keeps going, it keeps going. It's getting us there. And then it gets us ready for jumping into the chorus. So what we're going to do for this, what I like to do for this as well, this is a synthy 80s song, so there's no clear, obvious strumming pattern, but I do think this song suits a really nice straight down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up feel to it. So it's going to sound like this. You can join in if you like with some down, up strumming. We'll go quite slowly and we'll say it with the name of the chords. So 1, 2, 3, and stop. 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4. To go back into that A chord, but not yet. So that D chord really builds us up, gets us excited before we launch into the chorus. So it's nice and straightforward. 4 bars of A, 2 bars of D, 2 bars of A, and then E7 followed by 3 bars of D. For our chorus of the song, this is the tricky part. So the chorus actually starts on beat 2, on the word stop. The words of the song here really help with the flow of the chorus, because what actually happens in the chorus is we actually change on the 4 and we use some words to help us feel where that chord change comes in. So it feels like the chord change just comes in a little bit too early. And then when we start the progression again and sing stop again, we've got that slight pause before we say stop on beat 2. So the chorus chord progression sounds like this. You're going to hear me saying it in downs and ups. You will hear it in a count of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we'll break it down together. Remember, we come in on beat 2, so it goes 1, 2, down, up, 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 down, 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 up, 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 down up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2, 3 and 4 that stop that is a little bit tricky. But we're going to strip it back, and I'm going to point out some of the words that will help you know where to change chords. Those words are stop, stand, before, and then when it repeats, stop, jump, hung, before. So let's hear how that sounds with the chord changes. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, stop, stand there where you are before you go too far, before you make a fool out of love. Stop, jump before you look, get hung up on a hook, before you make a fool out of love. Stop, stand there where you are before you go too far, before you make a fool out of love. Stop, jump before you look, get hung up on a hook, before you make a fool out of love. Stop. So try and strip that back and use the words to really help you there. It is tricky, and my advice on this is do it slowly and do it over and over and over until you can really get in the flow. Let's see if we can do the chorus with the words all together, nice and slow. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Stop, stand there where you are before you go too far, before you make a fool out of love. Stop, jump before you look, get hung up on a hook, before you make a fool out of love. Stop. Notice how I'm up on that strum and I'm holding it, so I'm holding that for a bit longer. Stop, stand there where you are before you go too far, before you make a fool out of love. So as long as you sing that word, before you go too far, so you're singing before you go too far. So use the word to help guide your hand. Those two things match up. If I was to learn this from scratch, I would start with the words. Stand there in single chord changes. You go too far before you make a fool out of love. Stop. And then I would bring in the strumming without the words. This will take a little bit of time to really spend time on and ingrain, but practice it over and over and over and over, and it will help. And see if you can play along with the play along as well. Right after the chorus of the song, when we finish on D, before you make a fool out of, instead of singing stop again, we go straight into an instrumental. Now in this part at the end of the chorus, you're not going to do that up strum on the A. Instead, you're just going to wait a bit longer, go on the down strum on 1 and emphasise that first beat. We've got 4 bars of A. We're going to do down up strumming and finish on A. On its own, that sounds like this. And as soon as you strum that last A, you want to stop the sound. I stop the sound with my fingers. Or you can go with this hand and stop here. Now, when we add that into the end of the chorus, it's going to sound like this. Stop, jump before you look, get hung up on a hook, before you make a fool out of love. So again, spend some time on that too. Before you make a fool out of love. 2, 3, 4. That bit will be a little bit tricky to get, but it will come together. Finally, we have our bridge. Once we've played our verse, chorus, instrumental, verse, chorus, instrumental, we then do the bridge, which, as you can see, is exactly the same as the last line of the verse. So you've just got, we'll be together and nobody ain't ever gonna disconnect us or ever separate us. Say to us, you got to stop, stand there where you are before you go too far. And that's the song. So remember, the verse follows the pattern of the 12-bar blues, almost, except we just carry that D chord on out until we get to stop for the chorus. When we come out of the chorus, we go straight into the instrumental on the 1, 2, and 3, and 4 and. And then once we've done a couple of verse, chorus, and intros, instrumentals, we then do bridge, chorus, chorus, and finish the song. What I'm going to do now is we're going to play through verse 2, chorus. What we're going to do now is we're going to play intro, verse 1, chorus, instrumental, and then we'll finish the song there. But don't forget to check out the song sheets on my Buy Me a Coffee page to get the full detailed lesson breakdown with all of these chord progressions and some tips and things along the way on how to learn these too. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, and we'll be together again. I've been waiting for a long time. We're gonna be together again. I'll be connected to the right line. We'll be together, and nobody ain't ever gonna disconnect us or ever separate us. Say to us, you got to stop. Stand there where you are before you go too far, before you make a fool out of love. Stop, jump before you land, get hung up on a hook, before you make a fool out of love. We'll be together again. And that is Stop by Erasure. I hope you've enjoyed learning this one. Let me know if you enjoyed it in the comments below. Let me know if you get the hang of that chorus section, and I will see you in the next video.